KLIF News Time 641. Good morning. I'm Dave Williams with Amy Chodroff. You know the name because he was in the news big time. He was pictured all in the newspapers across the country with President Obama hanging the Medal of Honor around his neck. Former Army Staff Sergeant Ryan Pitts. And Ryan, who has an unbelievable story, we'll get into that in just a moment. He's in Dallas and he's visiting the Cohen Veterans Network clinic here. It's one of 5 new clinics that opened nationwide this year in an effort to provide free mental health services to post 9/11 veterans and their families.
Yeah, and we're lucky enough to have him on the line with us this morning. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. Very well. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for joining us. So tell us about these clinics and what kind of services they're going to be providing.
Well, they're providing mental health services to veterans and their families. And I mean, what the amazing thing is that if you wore a uniform for a day, or you're the family member of a veteran who wore a uniform for a day, you can be seen for a whole host of mental health challenges for free.
And you're not talking about necessarily diagnoses of post-traumatic stress disorder, but pretty much anything that you need to deal with?
Yeah, exactly. It's not just post-traumatic stress. I mean, that's the one we always hear in the news, but there are all sorts of other challenges too. I mean, adjusting back can be challenging. There's, the family transitions at the same time. There's relationship, the children. I mean, the families serve right alongside us, and they could face challenges while on our deployments that they don't get to process until we come back. So they really see a whole spectrum of mental health issues.
And it could take you like a year or so to even get an appointment at a VA clinic in your area.
Yeah, I mean, there are challenges everywhere, and what's amazing is the Cohen Veterans Network clinics, they have under 1 week wait times, and they're getting people in. I mean, right now they're seeing 2/3 are veterans and 1/3 are the actual family members.
Tell me about the partnership that Cohen Veterans Network Partners is teaming up with Netsmart. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that, because it's an interesting technological aspect to being able to provide this free health care for veterans and their families.
Well, I mean, that's part of their initiative, as well as to do the research, right, to do evidence-based treatments and to see what's working and what's not. And it's an amazing ability to be able to, off the bat, be collecting this information anonymously, right? This data is sanitized. So, I mean, we're all security conscious, and it's coming in, and they're going to be able to use it to make decisions about the efficacy of care for veterans and their families going forward.
You sound very happy, very upbeat, very well adjusted after serving in Afghanistan, and you have an amazing story. Can you tell us your story?
Yeah, well, I mean, I served 6 years in the United States Army. I was stationed in Italy, and I did 2 tours in Afghanistan. And it was at the end of my second deployment that our platoon was tasked to go out and stand up a base with about 3 weeks before going home. And on the 5th day of that village, just probably a week or 2 from going home, we were attacked by about 100 enemy fighters. There was only 49 of us on the ground. We fought. I mean, the guys fought all day. I was there for 90 minutes. I was wounded for a little bit, and then left. But at the end of the day, we lost 9 great Americans, my brothers. But they made it so 41 of us could come home.
Yeah, but you make it sound like you just had to leave because you stubbed your toe or something. Fact of the matter is, the way I read it, the citation from the United States Army and the Congress of the United States, that you'd been knocked to the ground. You were bleeding heavily from shrapnel wounds to arm and legs. You were pinned down, and that you continued to fight, not only to shoot back, but to collect grenades and to cover some of your brothers there at this observation post and return fire on the enemy. It's one of those stories that sounds like something that would be made into a movie, and probably be a very popular one at that. Am I overstating your case?
I don't know about the movie part. That's pretty generous. I do know that there will be a book coming out next spring, and it's really about our entire unit, because it was just a special unit as a whole. I mean, Sal Junta was the first living Medal of Honor recipient since Vietnam. He was in our sister company. And then Kyle White is another buddy of mine. We served in the same company. He was awarded for an action the previous November for me. So, I mean, they're really going to talk about this is just an incredible group of people. I mean, that's all vets, right? There's so many incredible men and women that have answered the call and left everything they've ever known to go fight for everything that we have. And it was incredible to be a part of that.
Well, we could talk to you about this for hours. Unfortunately, we have run out of time, but we thank you so much for joining us today. And if people want to see where you are today, where are you going to be exactly?
We're going to be at the Hilton Anatole and talking for the Meals for the Minds.
All right. Ryan, thank you very much, sir, for your service and for your 5 minutes with us this morning.
Hey, thank you for your support, and thank you so much for having me.
All right. Ryan Pitts in Dallas on behalf of Cohen Veterans Network and Netsmart.